So I've written a poem. As usual, it's gone dark in here. I don't know why it's really bright. It always is, but it's okay. You don't really want to see me anyway. But before you get to hear the poem, if you wait that long, I'm going to read you an excerpt from my favouriteest book in the world. It's a book about the future. It's maybe 4,000 years in future, maybe it's 40,000 years in the future. Doesn't really say, doesn't really matter. It's when it's all gone tits up, like it's going, and people have forgotten everything and how to do stuff. And there's a few clever people around who tell these little stories to remind people about how it used to be done. And this is the story about charcoal and how it's made and all about it. And charcoal is the charcoal burners in the woods. They do this thing called the heart of the wood. And this is why, well, according to this story anyway. The heart of the wood. USA is the USA, incidentally, but that's immaterial to this little story. The heart of the wood. There is the heart of the wood in the USA story. That were a stag, everyone knows that. There is a heart of the wood, meaning the very deep of it, that's another thing. There is the heart of the wood where they burn the charred coal. That's another thing again, isn't it? That's another thing. Burning the charred coal in the heart of the wood, that's what they call the stack of wood, you see. The stack of wood in the shape they do it for charcoal burning. Why do they call it the heart though? That's where this here story tells of. Everyone knows about bad time and what came after. Bad time first and bad times after. Not many come through it alive. There come a man and a woman and a child out of the burning town. They sheltered in the woodlings and foraging the best they could. Starveling were what they were doing. Didn't have no weapons, nor didn't know how to make a snare, nor nothing. Snow on the ground and a grey sky overing and black trees rubbing their branches in the wind. Crows calling one to another, waiting for the three of them to drop. The man, the woman and the child, digging through the snow they were, eating moles and dead leaves, which they then vomited up again. Freezing cold they were, nor didn't have nothing to make a fire with to get warm. Starveling they were, near come to the end of their strength. The child said, "Oh, I'm so cold, I'm afeard I'm going to die. If only we had a little fire to get warm at." The man didn't have no way of making a fire. Didn't have no flint and steel nor nothing. Wood all around them, only there weren't no way he knowed of getting warm from it. The three of them ready for auntie they were, ready to total and done. When there came through the woodlands a clever looking bloke and singing a little song to himself. "My rodent's been so hungry, I've grown so very thin. I've got a little cooking pot, but nothing to put in." The man and the woman said to the clever looking bloke, "Do you know how to make fire?" The clever looking bloke said, "Oh yes, if I know anything I know that right enough. Fire's my middle name, you might say." The man and the woman said, "Would you make a little fire then? We're freezing of the coal." The clever looking bloke said, "That for you, and what for me?" The man and the woman said, "What do we have for what for's?" They looked at one another and both at the child. The clever looking bloke said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll share you my fire and my cook pot if you'll share me what to put in the pot." He were looking at the child. The man and the woman thought, 2 out of 3 alive is better than 3 dead. They said, "Done." They killed the child and drunk its blood and cut up the meat for cooking. The clever looking bloke said, "I'll show you how to make fire, plus I'll give you flint and steel and makings, nor you don't have to share me nothing of the meat, only the heart." Which he made the fire then and gave them flint and steel and makings. Then he cooked the heart of the child and ate it. The clever looking bloke said, Cleverness is gone now, but little by little it will come back. The iron will come back again one day, and when the iron comes back, they will burn charred coal in the heart of the wood. And when they burn the charred coal, their stack will be in the shape of the heart of the child. Off he gone then, singing. Seed of the little, seed of the wild, seed of the burden is the heart of the child. The man and the woman then, eating their child, it were black night all around them. They made their fire bigger and bigger, trying to keep the black from moving in on them. They fell asleep by the fire, and the fire, biggering on it, ate them up, and they were burnt to death. They been the old ones, or you might say the old ones, and become charred coal. That's why they'll tell you the older tree is best for charring coal. Sometimes you'll hear of an older clincher. He carries off childer. Out goes the candle, out goes the light, out goes my story, and so, good night. That was the story. That's the book, Riddley Walker. Russ Hoban is fabulous. Anyway, down to the other thing. Why would that all happen? Well, that will happen because of, well, climate change for one. You know, we've got Dungeness in Kent. It's below sea level. The sea levels rise, well, it'll blow up and get turned into dunks your arse, as it says in the book. Anyway, there's a debate on TV coming up. And guess what? The Prime Minister ain't even bothering to attend so far. So here's my poem. Ignore the debate. Our head's on your plate. You know it won't wait, because then it's too late. If the temperature's rising, why does it feel colder? Questions like that only make you feel bolder. Hide it, all the truth in one of your folders, so at least you'll be popular with the major stockholders. Of misdirection you are obviously masters, but try to ignore all the natural disasters. When the news is all faked by your friendly broadcasters, the efforts you make are like sticking plasters. 97% of actual climate experts totally agree, and they really ought to know, so that's good enough for me. That global warming is happening, and it's definitely human caused. Did you take that all in, or is your brain still on paused? There really isn't time to waste. We must do something now, or carry on as always with the usual disavow. Venice Council voted down any possible climate change action. Just after that, it flooded. Almost a chain reaction. Almost as if this was karma, but it gives me no satisfaction. Did it become major news here? No, there were too many other distractions. Last year we had the beast from the east, and in summer it was too fucking hot. You must have all noticed the seasons have totally gone to pot. This year it flooded, and it's bound to get worse, but they'll carry on lying, chapter and verse. Minimisation, omission, restructuring are just three of the ways that they lie. Catching them out doesn't work either, as then it's just flat out deny. So because of these things, we can't leave it to them. They simply aren't to be trusted. The way they behave as if nothing is wrong, we ought to be fucking disgusted. But don't listen to me, I know nothing, you see. Then pretty soon we're going to blow it. And by then it's too late to fix our mistakes, and it's over before you even know it.